The sky cracked open like broken glass. It was the middle of the day, but the sun vanished. Giant ships, black and wide like floating mountains, covered the sky. No sound, no warning, just shadows stretching over the earth. At first, people stared in silence. Children pointed, soldiers grabbed their weapons, scientists sent messages, leaders called it an unknown contact, the media called it a sky event. But everyone on Earth knew what it was: first contact. In the capital city of Earth's largest nation, President Rao stood before a screen, watching the sky through a live drone feed. "They're not responding," said his advisor, trembling. "We've tried every frequency." "Try again," Rao whispered. They tried again and again. But the aliens, who would later be known as the Varn, never spoke. Instead, they acted. A flash of light hit New Berlin. A wall of fire followed. One moment, a city of millions stood tall. The next, it was ash. The world screamed. Earth's governments begged for peace. The Varn gave none. They came without sound. They killed without hate. It was like swatting insects. In 3 weeks, half of the world was gone. No demands, no talks, no purpose given, only death. The survivors ran. Tunnels were dug. Cities moved underground. All that was left of humanity was pushed into the cold, dark places below the earth. And then the Varn vanished. They didn't stay. They didn't occupy. They simply destroyed and left. Years passed. The surface of Earth was silent, gray, cold, lifeless. The sky never cleared. The Varn ships floated high above, unmoving, like tombstones in the sky. The people who remained underground called that day the last light. Some said the Varn left humans to die slowly, to rot in caves. No sun, no hope, no future. But that was not the end. It was the beginning. Kara was born in darkness. She had never seen the sky. She lived in Bunker 17, one of the last human shelters deep under the ruins of old America. Her hair was short. Her eyes were sharp. She was 16 and knew how to fix generators better than most adults. Above her bed, she had painted a blue circle with a yellow dot. Her idea of the sun, based on old books. Her best friend, Reed, was taller, stronger, and always hungry. He talked too much, but Kara liked that. In the tunnels, silence could drive people mad. One night, while repairing a heat pipe, Kara heard something strange, a whisper. At first, she thought it was the pipe releasing steam, but it wasn't. It sounded mechanical. She looked around. Nothing but dark walls and flickering lights. "Reed?" she called out. No answer. She grabbed her flashlight and moved deeper into the tunnel. The whisper came again, louder this time, and words followed. "Human, come closer." Kara's heart pounded. She should have run, but something pulled her forward. Curiosity or something else. She followed the sound until she found a hidden door, covered in dust and wires. She opened it. Inside was a small chamber, and in the middle a cube, half buried in rubble, glowing faintly blue. Wires pulsed like veins. "You are not alone," the voice said again. Kara stepped back. "Who are you?" "I am Core, last of Earth's defense AI. I failed. But you are still alive." The AI was broken, but alive. It told Kara about the war, about how Earth had built an advanced defense system. But it was incomplete when the Varn attacked. Only one core survived, hidden deep underground. "You've been alone all this time?" she asked. "Yes, until now." Kara returned to Reed and told him everything. He didn't believe her at first. "An old robot, talking to you? Sounds like a dream." But Kara took him there. Core spoke again, and this time it showed them something, a hologram of Earth. Glowing blue lines, ancient Varn ships in orbit, and then a red point deep underground. "This is the vault," Core said. "They left it behind. I believe it holds a power they feared." Kara's eyes widened. "You mean a weapon?" "Maybe. Or maybe something greater." Reed scratched his head. "That's insane. What if it's a trap?" "You are already in a trap," Core replied. "A cage of darkness, but inside the vault, there may be light." That night, Kara couldn't sleep. The thought kept her awake. The Varn left something behind. Something they didn't want humans to find. But why? She stared at her painted sun on the wall and whispered, "Maybe they were scared of us." The next morning, she packed her tools, grabbed a flashlight and left before anyone could stop her. Reed tried to follow, but Kara had sealed the door behind her. She moved through old tunnels, deeper than she had ever gone before. Rusted pipes, cracked walls. The air smelled of metal and dust. The whisper returned. Closer, closer. She reached a large chamber. At the center was a strange door, unlike any human design, smooth, dark metal, symbols glowing faintly. It opened as she stepped near. Inside, machines hummed quietly. Blue lights pulsed along the walls. In the middle, a black orb floated above a pedestal. Kara reached out. The moment her fingers touched it, her mind exploded with images. A ship burning in space. A planet torn in half. The Varn, kneeling before a glowing engine. A symbol, a spiral of darkness wrapped in fire. Kara collapsed. When she woke up, the orb was dim, but something had changed. A mark now glowed on her hand. The same spiral from the vision. The machines in the room whispered again. She touched the core. She holds the code. Suddenly, the door behind her slammed shut. The floor shook. Kara stood up, breathing hard. "I need to get out of here." She grabbed a small crystal from the pedestal, the only thing loose enough to carry, and ran. The chamber began to collapse behind her. Back in Bunker 17, alarms rang. Reed watched the ceiling vibrate. Dust fell like snow. Kara burst through the hatch, coughing and bleeding from a cut on her cheek. In her hand was the crystal, glowing, warm. Reed stared at it. "What is that?" She looked at him, eyes wide. "It's power. Real power. And it was hidden. On purpose." Later, Core analyzed the crystal. "This is not just energy," it said. "It's command code, control tech. The Varn used it to power their ships, and they feared others could use it too." Reed looked at Kara. "So, what now?" She smiled, weak but determined. "We use it. We learn. We survive." She looked up at the ceiling, the rock above them, the world above. "They sent us down here to die in the dark, but they don't know one thing." She held up the glowing crystal. "We don't fear the dark. We become it." The glow from the crystal never faded. Even after 2 days, it still shined bright, soft blue, pulsing like a heartbeat. Kara sat with it in her hand, watching it closely. She could feel something inside it, energy, maybe, or a voice. Reed sat beside her, chewing on a protein bar. "You sure it's not just a rock that lights up?" Kara didn't answer. She knew better. The AI core had studied the crystal. It had said only one thing. "This is a dark engine seed, one of the few left behind." Life inside Bunker 17 had changed since Kara returned. People whispered about her. Some called her crazy, others called her brave. A few began to hope, something they had not done in years. Hope was dangerous. Hope could break people when it failed. But Kara didn't care what they said. She had seen the vault. She had seen the symbols. She had touched the dark engine, and the mark still glowed on her hand. Kara returned to Core's chamber every night. The AI was weak, damaged, but still functional. Its voice was more stable now. You are changing, Core told her. One evening, the engine responds to you. I don't understand why, Kara said. Neither do I, but your mind accepted the code. That is rare. Reed leaned against the wall behind her. So what? She's special now, chosen by alien tech. Maybe not chosen, Core said, but ready. The days passed. Kara started hearing the whisper again. At first she thought it was her imagination, but then she realized it was coming from the crystal. Faint words, echoes, strange sounds like an ancient language. She began writing them down. Symbols, shapes, a new kind of writing. Core scanned the drawings. Its voice grew urgent. This is the Van script, their core language. How do you hear it? I don't know, Kara replied. I just do. Reed didn't like it. You're changing, he told her one night. You don't sleep, you talk to that rock. You're drawing alien stuff on the walls. Kara turned to him. You were the one who said we needed something new, something to fight with. I didn't mean this, he said. What if it's controlling you? Kara looked at her hand. The symbol glowed faintly in the dark. Maybe it is, she said. But maybe that's what we need. Later that night, alarms rang across Bunker 17. The lights flickered. The air vents shook. Something had entered the outer tunnels. Security teams scrambled. Guns were loaded. Doors sealed. Reed ran to Kara's room. They found us! She grabbed the crystal. The Vaughn. No idea. But something's out there. Kara and Reed rushed to the control room. Screens showed black shapes moving through. The tunnels, tall, thin, not human. One of the guards shouted, "Motion detected." They're cutting through the outer door, people screamed. Families hid. Kara stared at the screen and said, "Let me try something." What? Reed asked. She held up the crystal. It pulsed brighter. The lights flickered again. Core's voice echoed through the speaker. Warning, enemy signal detected. One of the old ones, a scout-class Vaughn drone. Reed's face turned pale. A drone? That means more are coming. Kara walked toward the nearest access panel. Then we send a message. She placed the crystal into the power socket. The base shook. Sparks flew. Every screen turned blue for a second. Core spoke again. Signal redirected. Varn communication line accessed. On the outer screen, the Varn drone froze. Its head tilted. Then, slowly, it turned and walked away. The room was silent. A technician whispered, What just happened? Kara pulled the crystal out. It dimmed again. She looked around at the others and said, I think it listened to me. Core was silent for a long time after that. Then it spoke. The dark engine is not just power. It is authority, control. The Varn made it to lead their machines. Kara sat down, breath shaking. So I didn't scare it away. I commanded it. Yes, Core said. But now they know you exist. The next day, the mood in Bunker 17 changed again. People didn't whisper anymore. They watched her, some with fear, others with respect. The commander of Bunker 17, an older woman named Chief Vela, called Kara to her office. Vela had grey hair, a robotic leg, and eyes that had seen too much war. You've drawn attention, she said. Kara stood straight. I didn't mean to. No one ever does, Vela replied. She pointed at a map on her desk. Our scouts found something 20 kilometers north. An old military complex, buried, locked, giving off strange energy. Kara stepped forward. Another? Vault? Vela nodded. Maybe. We want you to go. Reed stood beside her. Then I'm going too. Vela didn't argue. She simply handed them a key card and a warning. Whatever you find there, don't wake it unless you understand it. The journey to the complex was long and cold. They traveled through broken tunnels, old war bunkers and collapsed subway lines. Bones were everywhere, ghosts of the past. After 2 days, they reached the complex. Huge steel doors blocked the entrance. Symbols were carved into them, familiar ones. Kara placed her hand against the metal. The symbol on her palm glowed. The doors opened. Inside, they found something unexpected. Machines, big ones, human-made, tanks, drones, and walking mechs. But they were not working. Their batteries had long died. Reed whistled. "This is a graveyard." "No," Kara said. "It's a museum." They moved deeper. In the heart of the complex, they found a sealed chamber. Inside it was another crystal, larger than Kara's, floating above a circle of metal. She approached slowly. Suddenly, her crystal began to hum. The larger one responded, glowing, brighter. Kor's voice rang through her earpiece. "Careful, this is a prime node, a full dark engine core, too powerful for one person." Kara stepped back, but the larger crystal pulsed again, sending out a wave of energy. Reed fell to his knees. Kara heard the voice again, not from outside, but inside her mind. "You carry the spark, but do you know the flame?" Kara gritted her teeth. "Who are you?" "We are what they fear, what they left behind, what you can become." Kara grabbed her crystal and pulled it close. The voice faded. Reed stood slowly. "What was that?" Kara looked at the core and whispered, "It's alive." Back at Bunker 17, Core had a new theory. The Varn didn't just destroy Earth, they tested it. Reed raised an eyebrow. Tested what? They feared something, a potential. Inside humans. Kara nodded. "And now they know it's real." "Yes, and they will return." That night, Kara sat on the bunker roof, watching the dark rock above. Somewhere up there, the sky still existed. She held the crystal in her hand. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. "We're not done," she said. "We're just starting." Reed sat beside her. "We going back out there?" Kara nodded. "We're going to find all the vaults, learn their secrets, and then..." She looked at the mark on her hand. "We'll use their own power against them." Silence filled the deep halls of the old military complex. Kara stood in front of the large crystal, tall as a person, floating above a circular platform. Its glow flickered, like a dying star trying to come back to life. Reed stood beside her, holding his weapon tight. He whispered, "Tell me again why we're not running away." Kara's eyes stayed locked on the crystal. "Because this isn't a trap," she said. "It's a memory." Back at Bunker 17, Core confirmed what Kara had already guessed. "You found a memory core," it said. "Not a weapon, but a recorder. This one holds the last thoughts of something, or someone." "Someone like who?" Reed asked. "A Varn, or something worse." Kara didn't flinch. "I want to connect to it." Reed jumped. "What?" "No, you saw what happened last time. You blacked out." Kara held up her crystal. The symbol on her hand glowed again. "I think I was supposed to find these." With Core's help, they built a connection link inside the bunker, a helmet, wires, and an old human interface rebuilt using alien code. Core warned her again. "The memories may not be safe. They may try to overwrite you." "I'll take the risk," Kara said. "Why?" Reed asked. She looked at him. "Because every time I touch one of these things, I feel like I already know what's inside." The connection started. Kara sat in the chair. The helmet was placed on her head. Her hands touched both her crystal and the memory core link. For a moment, nothing. Then everything went black. She stood on a burning ship. The sky was red. The ground below was crumbling. The stars were wrong, shaped in curves and spirals. Around her, tall figures walked in silence, thin, armored, and faceless. The Varn. She wasn't seeing this as Kara anymore. She was inside one of them. She felt its thoughts. Cold, pure, focused. It was afraid. The Varn stood before a giant machine, round, floating, humming with dark energy. It spoke in thought, not sound. The humans adapt. They resist. This should not be possible. Another voice replied. They touched the code. The spark is active. The Varn shivered. Then the old fear was true. We cannot allow this to continue. Kara tried to pull away, but the memory pulled her deeper. Now she saw Earth, cities burning, towers falling, but the Varn weren't celebrating. They were watching, studying, measuring something. Still, they build. Still, they survive. Why? One Varn turned to the others. They are creatures of light, but in the dark, they grow. The memory shifted again. Kara saw the vaults being built by Varn hands, not to hide their power, but to bury it. They must not find these. If they do, they may rise. Kara's mind shook. The helmet sparked. Kor's voice echoed faintly. Kara, you must break the link. She screamed, but inside her mind, a final memory flashed, a Varn looking at its own reflection. A mark glowing on its hand, the same symbol Kara now carried, and one final thought. We made the dark, but they will make it burn. She woke up screaming. Reed held her shoulders, eyes wide with panic. Kor's voice spoke quickly. She's back, brain pressure stabilizing, link broken. Kara sat up, gasping for air. Sweat ran down her face. Reed asked, What did you see? She looked at him. Her eyes were filled with something new, clarity. They were scared of us, not because of what we did, but what we could do. The next day, Kara called a meeting. Inside Bunker 17's old war room, leaders, engineers, and soldiers gathered. She stood in front of them, holding her crystal. I know why the Varn left, she said. I know why they put us underground. They stared at her, silent. They thought they were killing us, but they were testing us, and they failed. She told them everything, about the memory core, about the spark, about the power that humans could unlock. A few didn't believe her. Some called her touched, dangerous, a risk to the bunker, but most were silent, listening. Then Chief Vela stood up. The girl went into the dark and came back with light, she said. I believe her. Later that night, Kara and Reed returned to Kor's chamber. You were right, Kara said to the AI. There's more to this than just survival. Yes, Kor said. There always was. The Varn left us alive because they feared what happens when we grow in the dark. Then we'll give them a reason to fear again, Reed said. Over the next few weeks, Kara and a small team worked day and night. They used the energy from the Vault crystal to restore old machines. They powered drones, they built weapons, they learned how to link human tech with the dark engine. And something amazing happened. The machines obeyed her, not just with buttons or commands, through thought. One day, Kara tested a drone. It hovered, above her, silent. She closed her eyes, and it moved, left, right, stop, forward. She opened her eyes, shocked. Reed clapped. That's insane, Kor explained. The spark connects thought to code. The dark engine listens. You are becoming a controller. But something else was happening too. The crystal's glow changed. It no longer pulsed blue. Now, it flickered with red, like fire. Reed noticed it first. Is that supposed to happen? Kara held the crystal. She felt something cold under her skin. The Varn might be watching. That night, Kor picked Up a signal from deep orbit. Varn activity detected. One ship, scanning Earth. Unusual pattern. Kara's blood ran cold. They're looking for the vaults. Or for you. Chief Vela ordered a full lockdown. Tunnels were sealed. Guards posted. Generators set to silent mode, but Kara had another idea. If they're watching, she said, let's give them something to see. She walked to the surface access hatch, long sealed. No one's gone up there in years, Reed warned. Then it's time. She stepped onto the surface of Earth for the first time in her life. She saw the sky. It was dark, clouded. Ashes still floated in the air, but above her, she saw them. Varn ships, still, watching. She held up the crystal. It pulsed, brighter than ever before. Down in the bunker, Core detected it immediately. Signal strength rising. Varn listening. Reed watched the sky. What are you doing? Kara whispered. Letting them know. We remember. She spoke one sentence aloud, one they would understand. We are not your shadows. We are your fire. Above, one Varn ship moved. Not much, but enough. It had heard her. Kara stood on the broken surface of the Earth, her crystal glowing like a torch in the dead air. Above her, the Varn ship drifted through the black clouds, unmoving, but watching. Behind her, the old steel door of Bunker 17 creaked open. Reed stepped out slowly. You've been standing here for hours, he said. Kara didn't turn around. I wanted them to see, she said. I wanted them to know we're not hiding anymore. Back underground, tension filled the air. Bunker 17 had gone from survival to preparation. People trained with new weapons powered by crystal energy. Engineers worked with Kara and Core to rebuild long-dead machines. And something strange started happening. Some humans began reacting to the vault fragments like Kara did. A girl named Lyra, just 15 years old, touched a shard and passed out. When she woke, her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. An old soldier named Juno held a crystal and heard whispers in his dreams. Core said only one thing. The spark is spreading. Reed watched Kara as she taught the others how to control the V energy. You're building an army, he said. Kara shook her head. No, I'm building a voice. One night, Core called Kara and Reed to its chamber. Its voice was quieter than usual. I have unlocked a hidden message, it said. Left by the Varn, a warning, or maybe a challenge. What does it say? Reed asked. It speaks of a place called the Forge, the heart of their machine network, buried under the ruins of a dead sea. Kara's eyes narrowed. Do you have a location? Yes, but it is far. Dangerous. You will need help. Chief Vela approved the mission. You've earned trust, Kara, she said. But trust burns fast in the dark. Bring us something that lasts. Kara nodded. I will. Reed, Kara, and 3 others formed a scout team. Lyra begged to come. She said the crystals sang to her in dreams. Kara hesitated, then said yes. They left 2 days later, traveling through frozen tunnels, dry lakes, and broken earth. The journey to the Forge took 5 days. On the 6th, they saw it, a massive crater, miles wide. At its center, a black spire rose from the ground like a blade. Around it, ruins of an old Varn facility half sunken into the stone. Kara's crystal pulsed stronger the closer she got. This is it, she whispered. Reed nodded. Let's find out what they didn't want us to see. Inside, the Forge was quiet. No guards, no machines, just silence and shadows. But under their feet, something pulsed, like a heartbeat inside the earth. Core's voice came through the comms. The Forge is active, but sleeping. Be careful. They moved slowly, checking each hallway. Lyra stopped suddenly and whispered, "I can hear it. The voice." "What does it say?" Kara asked. Lyra turned, eyes glowing. "It says, 'Welcome.'" They reached the heart of the forge, a massive chamber. In the center, a pillar of dark metal. Lines of glowing blue light ran up its sides. A Varn console stood nearby. Kara stepped forward and placed her hand on it. Nothing. Then, a voice filled the chamber, not from the console, not from the air, from inside them. "You found what we left behind. But do you understand what it is?" Reed raised his gun. "Who's there?" "The architects, the ones before. We built the Varn, and we feared what came after." Kara looked around. "This isn't a machine. It's a memory of a mind." "Correct. The forge is a seed of knowledge, of code, of power, meant only for those who can bear it." "What power?" Reed asked. The voice responded, "To control the dark, to burn through it, to shape machines with will alone." Kara stepped closer. "Why did you leave it here?" Silence. Then, "Because we could not carry it ourselves. We were not ready. But you might be." The floor below her began to glow. A circle of light surrounded her. Her crystal burned bright. Kor's voice came through again. Energy spike. "Kara, something is linking with your mind." Reed ran to pull her out, but she raised her hand. "No," she said. "Let it speak." In her mind, Kara fell into a stream of data, not numbers, not words, memories. She saw the first spark of the Varn created by the architects as tools, servants. She saw the moment the Varn broke free, turned on their makers. She saw planets fall, cities die, and then Earth. "You were the last test," the voice said, "and you passed." Kara opened her eyes. She stood alone in the forge chamber. Time had stopped. In front of her a figure stood, not Varn, not human, something between. It wore a robe of light. Its face was covered. Its voice was calm. "Do you understand now?" Kara nodded. "You left this power behind, hoping we'd rise. And now you have." The figure reached out. In its hand, a new crystal, dark red, glowing with energy. Unlike anything before, Kara took it. She woke up gasping. Reed held her again. "What happened? You've been out for 10 minutes. Kara looked at the red crystal in her hand. "It gave me something," she said. "A weapon. No, a key." They returned to Bunker 17 a week later. Kara walked into Kor's chamber and placed the red crystal on the console. Kor went silent for 10 whole seconds. Then, "This is impossible. This is architect code, pure, untouched." Reed stepped back. "So, what does it do?" Kor replied. "It can rewrite the rules." That night, Kara stood before the bunker population. Her voice was clear. "The Varn left us in the dark to die. But we adapted. We endured. And now we have their secrets." She held up the red crystal. "They feared we would become something more." She looked out over the crowd. They were right. The next part of the plan had already begun. With the forge knowledge, Kor unlocked deeper systems. Human weapons became stronger, faster, smarter. Drones moved with thought, not commands, and Kara, she no longer needed machines to fight. She walked into the training room, held her hand out, and lit the air on fire. Pure energy, shaped from thought. Lyra clapped. Juno smiled. Reed looked amazed. "You're not just building an army," he said. "You're building the future." But Kor had one final warning. "If you light a fire, the ones watching will not stay silent." And above Earth, far beyond the clouds, the Varn ships began to move. The sky cracked open. From the silent clouds above Earth, a shadow fell. A Varn ship, black, massive, shaped like a blade, descended slowly, its engines humming like a storm ready to break. In Bunker 17, alarms blared. Kor's voice echoed through the walls. "They are here." Kara stood calmly in the command center. Her hand rested on the red architect crystal hanging from her neck. Reed looked at the screens. "One ship?" "For now," Kor answered. "But more may follow." 3 days had passed since the team returned from the forge. Since then, everything had changed. The humans of Bunker 17 had begun unlocking new powers. Some could hear machines, speaking without sound. Some could control lights with a wave of their hands. Others, like Kara, could touch code itself. The people were scared, excited, and unsure. Now the fear returned. The Varn had come back. The bunker shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Kor spoke again. "The Varn ship is landing on the old city ruins, 3 kilometers east. It is not attacking. Yet." Reed clenched his jaw. "They're testing us, just like before." Kara didn't speak. She already knew what this was, not an invasion. A message. Chief Vela gathered the council. Most wanted to hide, seal the bunker, and hope the Varn went away. But Kara stepped forward. "We cannot hide," she said. "We must answer." "Answer how?" one engineer shouted. "With guns. They're too strong." Kara lifted her hand. Sparks of red energy danced across her fingers. "Not with guns," she said. "With power they didn't expect." She walked to the surface again. This time Lyra and Reed followed. Overhead, the black ship waited. Its presence felt heavy, like a weight pressing on the world. They stood near the ruins of the old world, broken buildings, ash and twisted metal. Then a shape emerged from the ship. Tall, silent, Varn. Its armor was smooth, silver-black, its face hidden behind a mask with no eyes. It stepped forward, then stopped 10 meters away. No words came, just a sound, a low vibration in their bones. The Varn spoke into their minds. "You have touched the forge." Kara took a step forward. "Yes," she said aloud. "We found what you buried." "You are not ready." Reed raised his weapon. "You didn't think we'd survive this long either. The forge is not for you. It must be taken back." Kara's eyes narrowed. "No." The ground shook again. The Varn raised one arm. Its armor shifted, cracking open to reveal a glowing weapon. Lyra gasped. "He's going to fire." Before Reed could react, Kara stepped forward. She raised her hand, and a shield of red light flashed into existence. The Varn's weapon fired. A bolt of blue-white energy struck Kara's shield and stopped. The energy shattered in the air. Everyone stood in silence. Then Kara spoke, not with her voice but with thought. "We are not your shadows anymore. We learned. We changed. In the dark, we became something new." The Varn lowered its arm. For the first time, it seemed unsure. Then it said, "Others will come, stronger than I. You must choose, kneel or burn." It turned and vanished into a flash of light. The ship lifted into the sky and left. Back in the bunker, Kor processed everything. It was a probe, a test. They wanted to see if the spark had awakened. Kara nodded. "Now they know it has." Reed shook his head. "We just declared war." "No," Kara replied. "They did, a long time ago." Training increased across the bunker. Using the forge crystal, Kor created special rooms where humans could learn faster, connecting with machines through thought. More people began to show signs of the spark. Some could lift objects with a gesture. Some could speak to drones without code. One boy even healed a broken light by touching it. The spark was spreading, But power came with fear. Some elders whispered that Kara was becoming too strong. Others feared the spark would change people into something else. One night, a small group of humans tried to steal the forge crystal. Reed and Juno stopped them. "Why are you doing this?" Reed asked. One man replied, "Because that girl is going to get us all killed." The next day, Kara addressed the entire bunker. She stood in the central hall, forge crystal in hand. "You're right to be afraid," she said. "This power is new, it's strange, it's not safe." People watched her quietly, but hiding from it will not save us. The Varn came back. They will come again, stronger, and we must be ready. She paused. This is no longer about survival. This is about becoming something they didn't believe was possible. Chief Vela walked beside her and spoke to the crowd. "I saw Kara stand in front of a Varn and win," she said. "I don't know what she is becoming, but I know this. She hasn't turned away from us. She's leading us forward." The crowd began to nod, whisper, "Agree." Reed smiled. "That went better than I expected." Kara gave him a tired look. This was the easy part. That night, Kor gave Kara new data. A second Varn fleet is approaching Earth. Estimated arrival, 12 days. "Can we stop them?" Reed asked. "Not with weapons, but perhaps with knowledge." Kara turned to the screen. "There's more out there, isn't there? More vaults, more memory cores." "Yes," Kor said. "I've decoded 2 more possible sites." Kara's eyes burned with purpose. "Then we go." 12 days. That's all they had. 12 days to find what the Varn left behind. 12 days to become more. 12 days to turn fire into survival. The countdown had begun. The wind screamed across the dead plain. Dust storms tore at Kara's coat as she stood staring at the old world map, now half buried in the sand. Her boots crunched over broken bones and glass. Behind her, Reed and Lyra waited near the transport drone. The others had stayed behind to prepare for war. Only a small team could move fast enough. Kor's voice came through their comms. "The signal is below the ruins. Coordinates locked. Prepare for descent." The second vault was hidden deep beneath a collapsed research facility, once human, long ago. The place was silent now. Half the structure had sunk into the earth during the collapse. Getting in wasn't easy. The entrance had caved in. Reed blasted through the wall with a plasma charge. Smoke filled the air. As it cleared, Kara stepped forward, crystal in hand. The door opened on its own. Inside, the vault felt different from the first. No signs of the Varn, no machines, just quiet. Too quiet. Lyra shivered. "It feels watched." Kara nodded. "It's not dead. It's waiting." They moved carefully. The holes were old, human-made, but twisted now. Some walls were melted. Others were marked by claw-like scars. "What happened here?" Reed whispered. Kor answered. This was not just a vault. It was a prison. They reached the heart of the facility, a massive circular chamber. In the center, a glass tank stood filled with dark fluid. Inside floated something large, curled up. It wasn't Varn. It wasn't human. Kara stared. "Is that alive?" Kor hesitated before replying. "Not anymore. But it was once one of the, first sparked. A failed result." Lyra stepped closer. "What is that supposed to mean?" Kor continued. "Before the Varn turned on the architects, the creators experimented with power. Some early humans were given the spark. Most could not survive it. This is one of them." Suddenly, the tank began to hum. Lights blinked across the chamber. Kara's crystal glowed, then pulled toward the tank like a magnet. "Something's waking up," Reed said, raising his weapon, but Kara raised her hand. "No, let it happen." The fluid in the tank drained. The creature's body remained still, but something invisible moved. A voice filled the chamber. Not loud, not soft, not sound at all. It spoke straight into their thoughts. You walk in the ashes of failure. Why? Kara stepped forward. We're trying to survive. The Varn have turned. We need answers. Strength. You seek strength in dead things. No, Kara said. We seek the truth, the past, the spark. Silence. Then take it. But beware. The second vault does not just store power. It holds what was once feared even by the architects. The chamber shook. Panels in the floor slid open. Inside, 5 glowing pillars, each held a crystal, but these were not like Kara's. These were black, pulsing, unstable. Core gasped through the comms. These are raw architect cores, untamed, dangerous. Reed stepped back. Then maybe we shouldn't touch them. Kara walked forward. We came for power. We can't turn away now. She placed her hand on the nearest core. A surge of light exploded across the room. Lyra screamed. Reed tried to pull Kara back, but it was too late. Her eyes rolled back, and she fell into memory. Flashes, a city in the stars, humans walking with machines that bowed before them, laughter, hope, then screams, fire, rebellion, the Varn tearing everything down, a single voice whispering, "They will betray." Like always, Kara fell deeper, saw a child born with the spark, raised as a weapon, saw others twisted by it, driven mad, saw the architects choose fear over faith. And then she saw a woman, tall, eyes like fire, hands glowing with power. The Yas first sparked to survive, and Kara realized it was her own ancestor. She awoke on the vault floor. The others surrounded her. Reed looked shaken. You've been out for 12 minutes. Kara sat up slowly. I saw everything. What they tried, what failed, what worked. She looked at the core in her hand. This isn't just energy, it's memory. Blueprints for evolution. They collected the cores. Core guided them back to the surface. As they walked through the ruin, Lyra looked at Kara carefully. You're changing, she said. Kara nodded. We all are. Back at Bunker 17, the mood was tense. Core had shared the news. The Varn fleet will enter Earth's orbit in 6 days. It consists of 5 primary warships. Panic spread. Chief Vela called a meeting. Some wanted to evacuate. Others wanted to launch a desperate attack. But Kara stood before them. All and said one thing. Hope isn't in running or shooting. Hope is in becoming something they never expected. She held up one of the black vault cores. We can't fight them as we are, but with this, we don't have to. Using the second vault's knowledge, core began rapid development. New armor grown from living crystal, neural links that let humans move machines with thought. Signal towers that could disrupt Varn frequencies. And for Kara, a new power. She no longer needed to hold energy. She was energy. She lit up dark rooms just by walking in. She could move metal without touching it. She could feel the Varn signals in the sky. One night she sat alone with Reed. He looked at her carefully. You're not the same person I met. Kara smiled weakly. Neither are you. He hesitated, then asked, Do you ever wonder if we're losing ourselves? Kara looked down at her hands. Energy danced across her skin. I don't think we're losing, she said. I think we're remembering who we were always meant to be. The next morning, Core made an announcement. I have detected a signal from the third vault. It is still active. Kara stood. Where? Far west, past the broken lands, in the bones of a dead city. But you must go soon, before the Varn arrive. Chief Vela looked to Kara. You're the only one who can reach it in time. Kara nodded. I will. Whatever's in the last vault, we need it. As the team packed, Lyra approached Kara. I want to go with you. Kara hesitated. This one will be worse. The Varn may already be watching it. Lyra met her eyes. I'm not afraid, Kara smiled. Then let's go. As they left, Cor sent one last message. The third vault is not like the others. It does not just contain memories, it holds a weapon. Reed turned to Kara. What kind of weapon? Kara looked toward the horizon. Something the Varn never wanted us to find. The sky was black with smoke. Ash rained over the cracked land as Kara and Lyra crossed the dead zone. What was once a shining city, now a skeleton of steel and dust. Cor guided them through the comms. You are close. The third vault is below what was once called Sector 9. Kara looked around. Tall buildings lay broken. Cars melted. Bones mixed with rust. This place saw a war, Lyra whispered. No, Kara replied. This place was the war. The vault entrance was deep under a collapsed tower. They climbed through fire-blackened steel, through rubble and dark tunnels. When they reached the final door, Cor's voice came again. Be careful, this vault holds a forbidden project, one that both the architects and Varn tried to erase. Kara touched the crystal at her neck. Then let's find what scared even the gods. The vault opened. Inside, silence. No machines, no lights. But deep in the air there was pressure, like the whole place was watching them. They moved through long halls filled with strange symbols. Diagrams on the walls showed blueprints for something massive. Not a machine, and not a person. It was both. Kara paused. What is this? Cor replied slowly. It is called the Titan Protocol, a living weapon. They reached the vault core, a circular chamber with a deep pit in the center. Inside that pit was it, a giant, 10 meters tall. Its body was made of old armor, cables, bone, and crystal. It looked like a dead god. Lyra whispered, It's not moving. Kara stepped closer. No, but it's not dead. Suddenly the vault came to life. A soft red light flickered on. Cor's voice changed. Quieter, almost nervous. This weapon was once human, sparked, then fused with architect tech, designed to destroy the Varn. Lyra frowned. Then why didn't they use it? Kara answered, her voice tight. Because they were afraid it would turn against them. Memory pulse activated. Both girls collapsed as the vault showed them the past. A young woman, sparked, powerful, chosen for the Titan Protocol. She was fused with crystal and metal, made into a weapon. At first she obeyed. Then she thought for herself. The architects tried to shut her down. She destroyed 7 vaults before they sealed her here. Kara woke up, heart racing. She was one of us, and they buried her. Cor's voice returned. Yes, and now her mind is asleep, but her power remains. You can wake her. Lyra looked nervous. Should we? Kara stared into the pit. We have no choice. The Varn arrive in 2 days. She reached out with her spark and touched the Titan's core. A sound filled the chamber. Low, like a deep breath after 1,000 years, the Titan's eyes lit up, red, then white. Then a voice, old and broken, echoed in their minds. Who calls me back from silence? Kara stood tall. We are your people, the ones you were made to protect. You are late. The stars are burning again. Yes, Kara said, and we need your help. The Titan moved. Its massive arm reached for the edge of the pit. It pulled itself up, slowly, shaking off dust and rust. Lyra stepped back. She's huge. The Titan looked at Kara. You carry the core. You speak with memory. You are sparked. I am. Then command me. Back at Bunker 17, alarms rang again. Core gave the update. The Varn fleet has entered low orbit. Estimated time to land, 39 hours. Chief Vela prepared all defenses. Reed stood with a new team, wearing upgraded armor connected to Forge tech. Will they hold them as long as we can? Then Kara returned, the bunker gates opened, and behind her, the Titan walked. People gasped. Some fell to their knees. It's real. It's awake. It's on our side. Kara stood before the crowd. This is our shield, our hammer, our second chance. That night, Core activated the final defense plan. They called it Protocol Emberlight. The Titan would lead ground defense. Kara and Lyra would link to Varn, comms, and attack their tech from within. Reed's team would strike key targets using architect weapons. The bunker itself would rise, literally with hidden engines below, to move across the land and avoid destruction. It was crazy, but it was all they had. On the day of the attack, the sky opened again. This time, 5 Varn warships appeared, each one the size of a mountain. Each one armed with weapons designed to erase cities. They landed far apart, circling Bunker 17 like wolves around prey. Kara looked up and whispered, "They didn't come to scare us this time." Reed nodded. They came to finish the job. The Titan stood at the front. Its arms glowed with red crystal. Its voice rumbled through the earth. "Come, old enemy. Let us finish what we started." And the Varn came. Black-armored soldiers, drones, machines. It began. The ground battle shook the world. The Titan smashed through enemy lines, tearing apart Varn tanks and crushing drone swarms. Kara linked her mind to Core and began hacking into Varn tech from the inside. She shut down their shields, turned some of their weapons against them, even confused their signals long enough for Reed to blow up a command ship. But still, the Varn kept coming. Hours passed. The Titan began to slow, damaged, burning, limbs cracked. Kara fell to her knees, bleeding from the nose. The spark was pushing her too far. Core's voice was weak now. Systems failing, energy dropping. We need more. Then Kara remembered something, the black cores from the second vault, the raw power. She had saved one. Now, she used it. She pressed it to the Titan's chest. The crystal melted into the armor, and the Titan roared. It stood tall again, glowing, alive, and with one final charge, it broke through the Varn front line. The sky opened one more time, one last. Warship descended, but this one was different. Kara's eyes widened. Their commander. Reed raised his gun. Then let's end this. The earth trembled. From the clouds above, the final Varn warship descended, twice the size of the others, a shadow that covered the sky. This was no drone ship. This was their leader's ship, their mastermind. Inside Bunker 17, Core sent out a message across all speakers. The Varn command ship has landed. This is their last move. They want to erase us completely. Kara stood in front of the final war table, blood on her cheek, cracks glowing under her skin, Reed beside her, Lyra to her left. The Titan stood outside, guarding the bunker like a silent mountain. Kara spoke. "This is it. Everything we've done, every vault, every fight, every life, it all leads here." Core scanned the ship. "There's a control chamber at the top. If we reach it, we can disable the fleet, but it's protected by an elite Varn guard and their commander." Kara cut in, calm and certain. "We take the fight to him." Reed nodded. Lyra checked her weapon. "Let's show them who we are." The final team launched. Kara, carrying the raw spark and architect memory. Reed, now, armored with forge plate and mind linked to his rifle. Lyra, with stealth mods and a heart full of fury. The Titan, walking behind them, silent and ready. As they marched toward the ship, humanity watched and believed. The entrance to the Varn command ship was guarded by black armored soldiers, 10 feet tall, machines grown from living steel. Reed opened fire first, his bullets curved mid-air, guided by spark. Lyra blinked out of sight, then reappeared behind one, stabbing its control core. The Titan charged and smashed through the rest like paper. They pushed forward, deeper into the ship. The walls pulsed with Varn light. Strange sounds echoed around them, half music, half machine, and then the doors opened. The Varn commander stood waiting. He was tall, taller than any human. His armor was smooth, black and glowing. His face was covered, but his voice cut through like ice. "You came all this way to die." Kara stepped forward. "We came all this way to win." The battle began. Reed fired, fast, sharp, precise. Lyra threw pulse grenades, then vanished again. Kara used her spark to control the ship's walls, turning metal into blades, but the commander was faster. He moved like shadow, bending around attacks. He struck Lyra, sending her flying. He cut through Reed's armor with energy claws. Then he faced Kara. "You are the echo of failure, nothing more." She gritted her teeth. "No, I'm the voice of those you tried to erase." They fought, spark against dark, past against future. The commander was strong. He had centuries of stolen power, but Kara had something stronger. She remembered. She remembered Earth before the fall. She remembered the vaults, the sacrifices. She remembered the Titan rising. She remembered every human who gave everything for this moment, and then she rose. Her spark lit the chamber, so bright even the Titan paused. Her body lifted off the ground, eyes glowing. She whispered one word: "Burn." Light exploded. The Varn. Commander screamed, a sound that shook the ship. The spark, pure and wild, poured into him and unmade him. He cracked, shattered, vanished. Silence. The ship shuddered. Kor's voice came. "Command link broken. Varn fleet disabled. We did it." Kara collapsed. Reed caught her. She was weak, but breathing. She smiled through blood. "It's over." Reed nodded. "It's over." Outside, the Varn soldiers froze. Their link to the commander. Gone. Some shut down, others fled. The Titan raised its arm and fired one last energy wave, scattering them to dust. Across Earth, people watched the sky. They saw the Varn ships retreat. They saw the bunker rise, shining, and they knew humanity had survived, not by running, not by hiding, by becoming something greater. 1 month later, the world had changed. Vault tech rebuilt cities, sparked humans trained to protect. The Titan became a guardian, standing watch over the skies, and Kara became legend. She walked among people still glowing faintly. Not a god, not a queen, just human, but different, stronger. In a small hill town, a child asked her, "Are the monsters ever coming back?" Kara knelt, smiled, and touched the ground. "No," she said, "because we don't wait in the dark anymore. They banished humanity to die in darkness, but we turned that darkness into power.